There are barbers in the barber industry who are literally making over 30K per month just cutting hair. On today's video, I'm going to go ahead and break down one of those barber businesses and really show you what goes into a 30K per month barber business. And what you're going to learn is three things on this video. What makes a 30K per month barber business? How is it even freaking possible? Really for yourself, if you want to duplicate these results, what to focus on. And then really, how did this barber, Ty Nguyen, do this while working in a barbershop in Richmond, Virginia? You're going to learn this all without having to guess on what is actually truth or like how to actually do this thing, because at the end of the day, Ty was one of our mentorship programs that I work with to help build and grow and scale this business to 30K per month. So I'm just going to give you like no bullshit, straight to the point, like what we did to help him grow and scale this business up. That way you don't have to like kind of guess or like wonder like, was that actually possible, or like how did this thing even happen? So for those of you who don't know, this is Ty Nguyen. He goes by Nguyen Steady Cuts. He has over 468,000 followers on Instagram currently. Now, what I really want to highlight here is like Ty didn't have like all 468 of these followers when we first started working together. He was under sub 10K followers, just like yourself. And yet he was still able to grow and develop not only his following, but also this business 30K per month. Okay. Now, just as like a little bit of proof, this is like from June 2nd, when Ty went ahead and made just over 20K per month from cutting hair, and 27K total from both TikTok and cutting hair combined. So he made about 20K doing 151 haircuts per during that month, and about 6.39K from TikTok. And today he's obviously grown that business even more, doing well over 30K a month, booked out 3 months in advance at the $100 price point. So there's really three things I want to touch on. Okay, number one is going to be social media content. Number two is new clients and how to convert on new clients overall. And number three is like, obviously we have to have a higher price point. Now, if I go ahead and zoom out real quick, we have a decent amount to get through. So I'm going to try and get as much detail with every single thing possible. So if you're someone who wants to like sit around and watch a video that's like 5 minutes long and super clickbaity, I'm going to try and not have like literally any edits in this video. It's just going to be like straight to the point, no bullshit. That way you can at least like, in my opinion, I think that's how people learn best overall, without all these like hypey edits. So if you can't like sit still for like 20, 30 minutes, however long this video is going to be, you're going to have a hard time in business. So we're going to have to like work on that thing a little bit. When we come into like, let's say the social media traffic, right? Like that's really where it's going to start at. Now, like whenever we work with a barber, especially to grow and scale a barber business up, whether it be 15, 20, even 30K per month, we always have to focus on like getting new eyeballs onto the business. And in my personal opinion, actually not just that's a fucking fact, honestly, at the end of the day, like social media, like organic traffic is the way to go if you have a service-based business. Now, this could be if you're a hairstylist, barber, whatever. You have to be posting content on social media. I think everybody hears that, but nobody really goes into the nitty gritty of like, okay, what do I need to be posting? So I kind of want to break down some of Ty's posts on here and kind of show you what works for him. And that way you can kind of get some like ideas on what you need to do on set of your content. So again, for the social media traffic, Ty Nguyen is both on TikTok and Instagram. On TikTok, he has over 1.8 million followers. On Instagram, he's over 400,000 followers. Again, he had sub 10K, probably even sub 5K followers on each platform before we started working with them. So what I'm going to go over with you is not because like Ty Nguyen was like popular. In fact, he struggled for a very good, portion at the very beginning when we started working together, because of like some simple mistakes I'm going to take you through on this video as well too. Now, I really want to give you like also too, if you haven't seen his videos do millions of views, like 19.5 million, 23.4 million, 22.9 million. And these are all organic. Like he doesn't pay for like, I know some people will like boost their posts. We like, honestly, like you could easily get like a organic video to bang, as long as you develop your skill set. Okay. So there's really two things when I talk about social media content. Number one is going to be converting on content, and number two is going to be content that goes viral. We always have to start with the content that goes viral and then move into like, let's say content that converts, in my personal opinion. So whenever we talk about like, let's say, content that goes viral, we need to be focused on like really 1 to 2 content types. Now for Ty, if we look at his page right now, majority of what he focuses on is like consultations. Now, whenever I'm like working with a barber, like I know everyone's like, oh, you gotta be doing consultations, you gotta be doing this, you gotta be doing that. In my personal opinion, not everyone's gonna be good at like consultations. It's just a fact. Like if you are good on camera and you're natural, like you're natural, like on camera in terms of talking, in terms of having a good conversation, in terms of like camera energy overall, you might do pretty decently well with consultations. But if you're a little bit awkward, you're a little bit shy when the cameras come on, you get a little bit nervous, which everyone does when you do consultations. There's one or two ways you can go. You can work at it, right? Suck at it for a while, work at it to improve, or use something that you are more, let's say, inclined and fits better with your skill set. You might be something like a voiceover. You might do something like action videos. We have people who we work with inside our mentorship program who, you know, they're still just doing action videos or just simple voiceovers before and after transformations, but that's kind of like what they're naturally good at. And because we work on that skill set and really develop that content, they can get that thing to go viral and scale up their income to, like, again, those 10, 15, 20K months. So you really want to work with, my belief is you need to be able to like utilize what you're naturally good at, not try to like jam like a round like thing in like a square hole, right? Or a square in a round hole, if you want to say it, right? Because it's just not going to work at the end of the day. Now, when we look at his stuff overall, again, these are getting millions of views, okay? So we need to always start off with, like, let's say this pattern breakup thing, okay? If we don't have a pattern breakup in the very, like, let's say first 3 to 5 seconds, like, this video is like not going to go viral whatsoever. And when we really want to think about it, like, we can look at some of his videos. He has a couple examples right here. So like I just put this young kids paying $75 for haircut as an example of a pattern breakup, or, you know, example is client hasn't gotten a cut in 8 years. So let's go and take a look at a couple of videos overall. So like, look at this. A 13-year-old pays $75 for a haircut. Like, this is like one of his like early videos early on that, like, again, when he was just getting traction overall. These videos do really good. Why? Well, let's take a look.
What are you?
I'm 13.
Why do you still come?
So it's already kind of surprising to start off, right? He says, how old are you? And the kid's like has a kind of a deep voice. We play that again. He's like, 13. Like, what?
How old are you?
I'm 13.
That's crazy for a 13-year-old voice, right? Good.
Why do you still come to me even though I charge 75?
So again, too, a 13-year-old paying $75 for a haircut, that's not the norm. It's kind of shocking. It already sparks somebody's interest to be like, what the hell is going on in this video? To stop and want to watch the entirety of the video, okay? If we look at, like, let's say something like this is transformation after 2 years, okay? I don't know if we have anything else. I think there was another one somewhere. Long hair after 12 years, that's one right there. Here we go. Tired of my hair. Like, holy shit. Like, okay.
Tell me how long you've been growing this out for, bro?
I started growing out during COVID.
So it started growing out during COVID. So almost like going on, like almost 5 years, right? Long hair. And there's a couple different pattern breakups in this, right? Number one, I mean, this guy's hair is crazy, right? So like, obviously if he's sitting in a barber chair, he's going to get it cut, right? And so like, if you're a viewer watching this, you're like, okay, is this going to be like a good haircut? Yes or no? Now, there's another like added realm to this that like I always knew while I was working with Ty Nguyen. If you look at Ty Nguyen, right? Like, Ty kind of got a little swag. Like, he's a cool fucking guy, you know? Like, he's like, if you get somebody, and this is like no disrespect to anyone, but like if you get somebody like Ty Nguyen and somebody who just like looks like they're not as like on the cool level, like it's kind of like this dichotomy where it's like the cool kid is giving like the person who doesn't look as cool like a makeover. How are they going to look? You know, there's already that type of like relationship there. So by nature, his videos are already going to spark more interest because Ty already has that naturally to him. And this is what I kind of go back to about, like, again, like some video styles are going to work better for other people. It doesn't mean you can't make, like, let's say your videos go viral, but you always need to understand, like, what do you naturally work with? I mean, like, look, end of the day, social media is like a little bit of a vain platform. Like, look, if you're freaking attractive, like let's say Sam Rascals, right? Sam Rascals gets like a good amount of views and has tons of followers. Why? He's an attractive dude, right? Like, of course, like attractive people always win on social media no matter what. And so it's like if you got like a little style, a little swag, if you're attractive, like these things are obviously good things for you to double down on. It's not like a bad thing. It's like, dude, if you got it, like work with it. So you always need to have some type of pattern breakup inside of his videos. And if you watch any of Ty's videos, there's always some sort of pattern breakup. He'll always also do this like little reveal thing.
Man, it's been since like
So it's like a disappointment, like, ooh, this is kind of rough to see overall, right? Now, what I wouldn't say is like, should everyone do like that reveal? No, because I see people doing that, and it's like, there's one thing that I really try to work on with Ty and like anyone I work with as a mentorship client to like scale up their barber business. Like the visual hook or whatever you see on camera has to match up to what you're saying. So if you have something where it's like this, like let's draw this back again, right? If you have like this like anticipation and stress, like ooh type of music, and the zoom in, and he's like, but like this guy like looks like he got haircut like 2 weeks ago, it's not gonna fucking work, right? Why? Because like as an audience, I'm like, dude, what are you like? You're being like a drama queen, chill, right? But if you're like if you're in tune with the market and like, okay, this is very true and this is what we can see, it works. Like obviously with Ty, like I've also told Ty as well too, as he starts growing, like I'll make a little graph right here, right? As he starts growing, and this is like anything in here, right? As you start growing your content, like let's say this is you, and let's say the market standard is like right here for what good content is, and you're all the way up here. Eventually the market is going to catch up to you because like they're going to learn, they're going to copy, they're going to mimic you, and eventually everyone's going to do the same thing that you're doing. And so you have to be able to eventually like get a little bit more upper edge to kind of like get out of this noise. So what everyone is doing, and like you might be doing this as well too, who's watching, like what everyone's doing is like doing this hair reveal thing. And like, yeah, okay, cool. Like it works for Ty, but why does it work for you? Well, because it's again too, it's like you're not telling the truth, like you're being over dramatic. And equally, when everyone starts doing that, it actually lessens Ty's results on this video, which again too is natural. So what does Ty have been able to do? Well, Ty, like again too, you have to think, in order to like grow out of this, you have to like zig while everyone else zags. So it's like, when Ty's, instead of like doing this big reveal, he's now doing this reveal it, pops it open, does the same music. He's like, oh, it ain't that bad. Because it's like, yeah, it really isn't that bad because everyone is trying to be over dramatic with the thing, right? And so with content, you always need to be understanding like where the market is at, not only like what are people rewarding, like, but also where is the current market at and how can I be above this point right here, right? And that's why I just try to drill into any barber when I'm working with them as a mentorship client is like I try to understand where are you at, where are we at in the market, how do we need to get up to the market and then surpass that to really get the most amount of results possible. Because the people who get the best results on social media are the people that are standing out from the market, not the ones who are blending in, right? Now, like I said before, it's all going to come down to this hook in first 3 seconds. This is where, like, honestly, if your content is not like getting like these type of view rates right here, it's all going to come down to majority of the hook. Because again, too, you have to get someone to stop scrolling and like really have a standout element. If you don't have these things, no one will ever watch your video, okay? Now, obviously, like you need to be able to keep somebody on the video in order to convert a new client or be able to get even viral views, like millions and millions of views like you see right here. You have to be able to get like a little bit more watch time or like some interaction on this thing as well too. But just to be able to get like a video to pop off even more, like I always try to like, especially for Ty, like I just ruthlessly work with them on like, look, dude, like just focus on the freaking hook. That's it. I just want you to focus on the hook. That's it. Like hooks. That was it. And we just worked and developed these things overall to the point where again, too, now it's like, it's like, it's my belief, like again, too, if you give a man a fish, like you'll feed him for a day. If you teach a man how to fish, like you'll feed him for a life. And like whenever I work with a mentorship student, like I'm always just trying to freaking like teach them exactly like, okay, what are these principles? What do you need to be overcoming overall? How do we need to overcome this thing? That way we can actually grow and scale. Because if you can't, like, and I'm working with you, and like, let's say eventually, like again, you're off on your own. Well, then your results are going to go downhill, and that's no bueno, right? You want to keep on like growing and developing yourself. That's the whole point, right? And that's what Ty's been able to do, especially even right now. Like again, till we go to his TikTok, this thing is still growing, developing, and doing phenomenal numbers. 1.8 million at this moment in time, right? In terms of following. Now, let's go ahead and go over to like converting on new clients. So of course we have to be able to convert on new clients. It's not just about getting likes, followers, and views on this thing. Okay. So whenever I'm like working with somebody, especially Ty, like we had to focus really on like this showcase and like this first, like this final 7 to 10 seconds of the video. This is really where like the majority of this thing is at. And it's like, you know, whenever you see something like this, like a showcase, we're really trying to focus on like, what's the one thing inside of here that's going to convert the most amount of new clients, right? We have to look through data. We have to look through their clientele base and really decide again too what is going to be our weapon of focus to really be like what I like to call our selling point. Okay, because if we don't have a selling point, then we're just making content just to get views, likes, and followers without pushing it to one specific thing overall. Okay. Now, when we start generating more new clients from having an actual selling point and giving a good end result of the haircut, what will typically happen because we generate more new clients is that more new clients allow us to create more new content on new clients, right? Which again, too, produces more new clients in our business, which also kind of inadvertently gets us more new views because some of the best clients to record content on are new clients. Now, that doesn't mean if you have no new clients coming to the business, you can't record content, but typically new clients that come in, they have a big problem. They haven't gotten cut in a while. There's a lot of these like great things to utilize, but you have to be able to get this business up off the ground. And like, you know, for Ty, like when we were first working together, it's really just getting like this initial uptick on the new clients in order to like start recording content. Now, for anybody watching, again, too, you don't need to wait on like actually getting new clients to start recording, but I'm just giving you like a little bit of a breakdown on that thing. Okay. Now, from here, once we go ahead and get some new clients coming in, everything's like popping off. We get some results. We're in now like what I like call happy land because now we're starting to get some like results. We have to also like really like focus on again to like our new client converting because we have some things going on, but how can we really double this thing down, right? And you know, I see a lot of barbers out there who are getting excited over like 10, 15, or even 20 new clients a month. Ty Nguyen got 355 new clients in a 30-day time span. This is when he was doing a 17K month overall, right? And legit, he probably could have passed 400, but like he was fully booked out 3 months in advance. So no more new clients could even book in with him because he was booked out, right? And again, this all comes back down to the social media traffic. Make sure everything is the content, first of all, can actually go viral. Then make sure the content can actually convert with a good showcase at the very end. Make sure we have a great selling point. That way we can get more new clients, more views, and convert more new clients that way as well too. We focus on the hook, focus on a pattern breakup to get these incredible results. Now, when we go ahead and go and converting new clients, I'm going to go a little bit more deeper on like the showcasing with one skill set thing, okay? So like we really want to focus on showcasing with one skill set. With Ty, like if you look at all of his videos and consultations, probably around the halfway point, he'll always do like this before and after. So let's go and play this.
This was like I feel like
This is what I like to call a showcase, right? So you don't have to do it before, but we always need an after. If it's a great transformation, like I would always tell anyone I work with, like you have to have a before and after to show the difference of what they look like before to see what they look like after, so they can see, the viewer can see that huge change and be like, oh fuck, that's incredible.
in the nighttime, watch.
Now, what we're trying to do here is like as you could tell, and I'll just put this on mute so we don't have this like going crazy. As you could tell, we're not rotating or spinning the client. We're focusing on like one aspect of the cut, okay? Really for Ty, it's going to be about the aesthetics. It's not going to be about the lineup. It's not going to be about the taper. It's not going to be about the fade. It's about the aesthetics. When I mean aesthetics-wise, it's like this: how does the hair fit on the head shape and the haircut look overall? Now, we're not focused on his eyes. We're not focused on his forehead. It's a great shot of just the aesthetics of like this cut and how the cut fits on his head. He looks like a freaking model at the end of the day with this thing, right? Now, equally at the very end, what Ty does really well is he does what I like to call a post-game interview. So after he does like a first couple of like, let's say showcases, he'll start doing this.
Strip club.
How do you feel right now?
I'm a little nervous. I'm kind
So he goes ahead and gets the client, like he asks the client after he's done with the haircut, how are you feeling? Like client's gonna be like, I'm a little nervous, blah, blah, blah. So it gets like this like tie into like who the viewer or who the client is overall, how they're feeling after the haircut. After we see the transformation, we already seen what's happened before. We've seen that crazy transformation. We want to see like what their reaction is.
of excited, but we're gonna see.
You can lift up the mirror and let me know what you think of the haircut.
That looks good.
So again, too, it's like a selling point at the end of the day, right? So he's like, oh my God, this is crazy, right?
Was it better than what you had expected, man?
Yeah, that's 10 times better than
Was it better than what you expected? 1,000%.
I was expecting. Dude, I'm super satisfied. Thank you so much, man.
I'm good, baby. Tell me some.
And then I'll finish off with a couple more like showcases at the end of the day. This converts on new clients because again, too, we're showcasing one skill set. We're getting people like a little more bought into like who we are and like how somebody actually feels after the haircut. That's the whole biggest thing. We're like selling confidence, but we're selling confidence in solving a problem. Okay. Now for Ty, like the skill set we really tried to focus on was like, especially at first, like he got a lot of these textured haircuts or longer haircuts overall. Like, of course, right now this has evolved over time. He's done like more of like these. I would say like he ties more in like the realm of like trendy haircuts, right? But of course, he was like doing like longer hairstyles where it'd be like these textured fringes and stuff like that. That was like obviously like that had his time period in his business overall. But like, you know, what I always try to focus on someone like, especially like Ty, it's like focus on one thing. Like, was Ty cutting a lot of different people's hair? Absolutely. If we look back, like on like the type of clients he was cutting beforehand, like he was doing like some shorter haircuts, some like waves, some curls, some longer hair, some like braids. But like if you look at like what Ty does now, it's like majority, it's like all these like longer like type of hairstyles. And he really just markets that. So everything will evolve because we have one clear focus. And like when we do something like this, and this is something I always try to harp on with Ty, when you do this and you have viral content, people who see your stuff know you as the go-to guy for this thing. So what, like, obviously, what's the biggest thing that stands out to you, like when you look at Ty's page? Obviously, all these guys are getting like crazy transformations. Why? Because Ty has become known as that guy. When you want to get a big chop transformation, you drive all the way to Richmond, Virginia, whether it's 5 hours away or 13 hours away. You drive to Richmond, Virginia in that barbershop to get cut by Ty to win, right? And like this for me, like, you know, when we talk about converting on new clients, you always have to think about like you need to be able to get more new people knowing about your business. Again, I always like to use the analogy like if Barber A and Barber B. Barber A only had like 100 people knowing about their business, but Barber B had 10 million people knowing about their business each and every single month. Which barber do you think is going to have the most amount of new clients? Of course, Barber B. That was a crazy, like, that was a mistake, but of course, Barber B, right? And again, dude, that's going to come down from your marketing, okay? Now, when we talk about marketing, like, everybody wants to think about like different platforms, like what platform is the best to like convert on new clients? Like, honestly, like you should always be thinking TikTok and like Instagram. Like these are the two platforms. Instagram is like mostly home base for a lot of you. A majority of you are gonna have to build out this TikTok. The good thing is TikTok is a very good platform to build out on, but you have to really be focused on making some really good content and make sure things are converting. Now, inside of like to be able to convert on clients, you need to be able to have a link to be able to book in your bio to book an appointment. Do not have like DM me, you know, this or DM me to book your appointments and stuff like that because it's going to get too hectic. Imagine if you had 355 new clients trying to book with you or even more people trying to book with you in a month and you're trying to DM them or text them. Would not freaking work. Just link in bio, simple thing, right? Like as you can see right here, this is Ty Nguyen when he had that 1 month. It says, Nguyen Steady Cutting doesn't allow bookings for more than 3 months in the future. They are fully booked for the treatment till then. Please try again in a few days. Like absolutely ridiculous. He was booked out 3 months in advance. Like at that price, again to 175 for a haircut and beard, crazy, right? So like when we think about this, you also need to be able to like make sure people know inside of your video and on your page that where you're located at, right? So you need to make sure you have your location of where you cut in the video. Either of course, it needs to be tagged in the video, and you also need to say it preferably. Like in a lot of Ty Nguyen's content, if you were to look at like some of his stuff, there's people that are driving like 13 hours away or driving a crazy location away just to get this haircut from them overall, or just get this haircut from like Ty overall. Let's see if I can find one at least. Let's try like this one right here.
Good, man. It's all over your face, bro.
I know.
Again, starts off with something very surprising overall.
2 years. I don't like my short hair. I got a big ass forehead.
I have a feeling. What are we doing today?
The special.
With the blowout saber too? The #1 special.
Today is actually my birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
Appreciate you.
How old are you
24.
turning? Where did you go to before coming here?
I had my cousin cut my hair.
Oh, Lord.
It
No.
was terrible.
All right, so he didn't do it there, but if you watch some of his videos, there will be like, I remember seeing a video where like somebody literally drove over 13 hours away just to get a haircut from him. And like, you have to think about like this. When you get like more people reaching on your business, so let's say like right now, this is your business right here, right? And you're only able to like reach this amount of people in your location. Let's say this is like 5 miles, right? Like this is your 5-mile radius of all the people you can reach, right? Well, this is like Ty Nguyen. Ty Nguyen's right here. And he has like, let's say, all of these people in a 13-hour, right? That's terrible, but 13-hour radius wanting to book appointments from him. Who do you, of course, like when we see something like this, who has the bigger clientele pool? Ty Nguyen, right? Why, like, who do you feel like is going to have the better chance at actually converting on, like, let's say, like you're making 30K per month? Ty Nguyen, right? So if you need to be able to, like, one, get more new clients or scale up the income, you need to be also able to scale up the amount of TAM, which is like, again, to the potential new clients you can actually get in the business, called TAM overall, into like knowing about your business. You need to be getting more new eyeballs seeing your business each and every single day. Now, the final part in order to like make sure we can get up to, like, let's say 30K per month is like we need to have a high price point. Okay. Now, when we talk a high price point, you know, when Ty first started working with us, he was charging $35 a cut, making about 9K per month. In order to do 30K per month, he would have to do 857 cuts at $35 a cut just to make 30K per month, which is absolutely ridiculous, right? At $100 a cut, right now he's doing about 30K per month. And like, you know, like before, I think it was like when he was at 75, right? So when he was at 75, he only had to do 151 heads to make 20K per month. Obviously, this is like including tip and secondary service as well too into these numbers. This is not including the TikTok money, right? But like that is what can happen, again, too, when you're focused on generating new clients in the business and scaling your pricing up. Now, I know a lot of barbers, when we talk about like scaling up prices, they start getting like frowny faces because like, oh, I don't want to like charge my clients X amount, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, you're not going to charge those people, right? Remember, Ty Nguyen, this guy got 355 new clients who are willing to pay him that $75 to $100 price point. Like, there are people out there in the marketplace that are willing to pay that price point for your haircut. The only reason why you think that people won't pay that is like because you are working with a tangible market like this, where Ty is working with a potential market to like this wide. How many more people do you think are willing to pay over $100 a haircut in these two markets? Your little 5-mile radius or Ty's 13-hour radius? This probably isn't the correct scale. It probably is going to be more something like this, right? Who has a bigger market to work with, like to be able to market new clients? Obviously freaking Ty. So like your focus should only be on like, how do I get more new people knowing about business? How can I reach more new people? And again, too, like everyone wants to like we're so worried up and worked up about like, oh, but like what people are not from my location. It's like, yeah, people can drive. People are literally driving to see Ty Nguyen like 5 hours away, 3 hours away, 13 hours away just to get a haircut from him. Right? It's because he solves a problem, okay? All business boils down to is solving problems. And when Ty solves a problem in the business of, again, too, confidence or whether it be textured fringes, when he solves a problem for his clients and he solves the problem inside of his business of getting marketing and new eyeballs into a business, meaning he gets his content to go viral, he makes sure that content actually converts on new clients, he's actually able to scale his prices up, he can actually make more money. Now, the thing with this, whenever I talk to a barber about scaling up price points, and especially with Ty, it's all done like by like data-driven decisions, and like we don't just like we didn't just go from like 35 to 100. We did this methodically about like we looked at like his like we have a couple tracking sheets that understand like what he's doing like marketing wise, what he's doing financial wise, what he's doing like new clients booked wise, where are these clients coming in from, and like how can we double down on this? That way when we start scaling up price points, it's not like a guessing game, because what most barbers do is play a guessing game on business. When you're guessing on business or guessing on raising prices, it's like you're guessing how to bake a cake. You're guessing on the ingredients, you're guessing on how long to put in the oven for, you're guessing on like how to mix it, and how good do you think that cake's actually gonna take out, like taste at the very end of the day? Probably pretty shit. And I like cake, right? Like, and so if you bake a cake like that, chances are I ain't gonna eat the damn thing. So for me, overall, like when we overview like a 30K per month business like Ty Nguyen's, we come down to three things. Social media content. Again, you're going to need to be able to make sure your content goes viral and you actually convert on new clients. You're obviously, from converting new clients, you need to be showcasing one skill set, and you need to be able to get more new people knowing about your business and knowing that you're the best person to go to for that one skill set. And you're also going to need a high price point overall, right? Which is, again, to doing like not charging $35 because you're going to have to like do an arm and a leg every single month just to fucking make that 30K, but charge over $100. And I can tell you this right now. In your location, can you charge $300 for a haircut? I can't confidently say yes, but I can guarantee you can charge more than what you're charging for right now for a haircut, probably even double what you're charging for a haircut right now if you knew how to reach more new clients in your business. The problem is it's not your skill set, it's how you're able to reach new clients. Now, the last thing I didn't really touch on this like overview of making 30K per month is like Ty was cutting in a barbershop, right? And still able to do 30K per month, charging $100 a haircut, where other barbers were charging like less than him. How is that possible is always like a question. Well, that's possible because Ty is in charge of his own business. Like his business and what he charges doesn't dictate the other barbers in the shop, right? It only matters or affects his business. Now, of course, because Ty Nguyen is marketing his business and he's getting more new eyeballs on his business inside that shop, of course more people in that shop are getting some more new clients as well too, right? But there is no problem with that as long as, again, too, as long as like the shop owner isn't a dick or whatever, which I wouldn't get an understanding of. It's like you have a barber who's getting more new eyeballs for free for your business. Why would you want to shut that shit down, right? So all in all, when I look back at a 30K per month business, this is like the higher level view of things, right? There's obviously, again, to social media content, converting new clients and getting a higher price point, okay? Now, Ty Nguyen, again, too, I definitely want to preface, this is not like all of a sudden he woke up one day and he's like doing like this 30K per month like business, okay? This took a lot of like work. This took a lot of effort. And this took a lot of like iteration as well too, from like both sides, from our side working with them and also his side as well too. And it was like an even trade-off, okay? And so I don't want you to go into this thing of like, oh, I know how to make 30K a month. I just got to do this, this, and this. This is just like to give you like a mental map of like, because I don't think enough people like show like what actually goes into this thing. And like, I know for me, when I can actually see how things interwork and together, it's like, oh, okay, maybe I can do that same thing as well too. Because I just see too many barbers who just like say, oh, I can't do that because they just don't know how the thing works, right? So hopefully that brought you some more awareness wise. And if you're interested in becoming one of our private clients or working with us and getting help in order to scale your barber business up, I'll put some links down below. You could check those out, either book call with my team or join the community for free as well too. Feel free to check those links out. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.